Hello and welcome to Raven's Arcana. I am Raven. Thank you so much for joining me, as always. And we are going to finish our episodes on the kings and queens for the suits, and then get into, after this video, the knights and the pages, right? So this is our court card series. And here are the king and queen of wands. So the mother and father of fire, or the masculine and feminine energies of creativity. And while both of these energies, people, sections, of the self can achieve the same goal, they go about it two very different ways. So let's start out with the king. And with our king, he is sitting on what appears to be a golden throne that is adorned by salamanders consuming themselves or speaking themselves into existence. And also there's a few lions here. So we have gold, which represents wealth, of course. And then we have the elements of fire, which are the salamander and the lion. I'll get into what the consuming itself or speaking itself into existence means here in just a second. And the same salamanders adorn his exterior cloak that is yellow. And the yellow will represent positivity. So he also has piece of cloth around his neck, which is green, which will represent growth, abundance, fertility, right? And then the fabric behind him that he appears to be sitting on is orange, which will be creativity, and we'll get into the reason why it's behind him here in a second. But his main portion of clothing is red, which is power, and he is all powerful, right? And this is the father, like I said, of fire, or the masculine energy over creativity. Now, his throne is not facing straight forward, and there's a reason for that. That's because this person isn't necessarily creative. He is not a doer, he is a leader. So this is someone that can gather people, that can recognize talent, recognize creativity in all forms, and gather all these people together as a team, lead them with his authority. Remember, the masculine, the kings have the authority over situations, while the queens have influence. He uses his authority to get to that goal, to, turn that lead into gold. Now, why did I say that? Because the blackness of the salamanders and the lions on there will represent alchemy in this instance, changing lead into gold. So he is someone that facilitates that transition from poverty into wealth, from resources into a product, based on his ability to lead, not to do. He's not a doer. He's not someone that is very creative. Now, he might be creative in finding actual people that create things, right? He might be strategic, but he's not necessarily creative. He is a leader. He is not a doer. And I said I'd get back to the salamander. This looks a lot like the Ouroboros. The Ouroboros is a snake that speaks itself into existence or consumes itself, meaning it is endless and it's infinite. So it's someone that will create empires based on his ability, or this energy's ability, this portion of the self, that ability to find, to gather creative people that will achieve that goal. This is also Leo energy. So Leo governs this card. This is someone that has that Leo, hard work, fixed sign energy. And this is usually all good things, right? He's powerful. He has the ability to find people's strengths, to recognize their weakness and find other people to balance those out, to achieve a common goal, to achieve wealth, to expand and build empires, right? So, fixed fire, great. Great energy. Great leader. And once again, he's the blackness of the lions and the salamanders represent the alchemical change. That led into gold, that resource into product. His ability to do that by finding other people. And the reason he's faced away is that he is not necessarily the creative talent. Now, The negative aspect of this could be that his ego, as that Leo energy, takes over. The ego turns negative. He might think that he's actually the talent, that he is the creator. He has the creative ability, which he in fact does not. He is just the leader. There's nothing wrong with that. But when you become manipulative, if you are manipulating people who are creative to reach a goal that they didn't want to be a part of, that's, a negative aspect. Or believing that you actually, are the master creator when you are the mastermind of actually leading the creative people, right? So hopefully, as in all the other energies, cars, people, in these couples, the queen can come out and balance that. So the queen, we were just talking about Leo energy. The queen is Aries energy. Aries is the doer. Aries is that cardinal divine spark. She is facing forward. She has a robe that is yellow. Extreme positivity, right? And her throne that she's sitting on is orange. Her throne is orange. So she is extremely creative. It is adorned with lions as well. So she carries a little bit of that energy that the king had. She has a little bit of ego, which is necessary. She's also holding sunflower, which is vitality, which is abundance, which signifies the fire, right? That divine fire, that divine cardinal fire, that Mars energy, that is a doer, that is persistent, that is determined. So she is doing, but she's also in a leadership role. She inspires people. She motivates people. She influences people based on her creative abilities. So they see her creativity and they want to follow her because they are inspired. They want to learn from her because she is so influential with her creative ability. She has a cloak that is white. So she comes from an area in herself of purity, right? Now, she does have the black cat in front of her. The black cat can represent the shadow self, the portion of the self that we hide from most people. So when we're doing shadow work, we're doing work on things that are unseen, that you don't allow other people to see. This could also represent the occult or witchcraft. So this energy, this person, this feminine energy can use spells, witchcraft, esoteric knowledge to create, right? There's going to be behind the scenes, underneath the surface, things that she could use, she could actually show people to influence them with their creativity, to bring things out of them, if you will, that they weren't aware that they had inside of them. That's how influential she can be. She uses examples of her shadow self to draw others into her kind of little bubble to become creative. So she facilitates that a different way by doing and influencing and giving examples, where the king is a leader. He's not a doer. Not that she's not a leader. He just gathers people that have the talent. She is actually 100% way more talented in the aspect of creativity. Now with Aries energy, what are the negative aspects of that? Being so determined that Mars energy comes in and crushes people when she's trying to reach her goal. So while the king usually recognizes everyone else's talent, she knows she's talented. And she is so determined to get what she wants. Sometimes she will crush others in her wake. And that full steam ahead, that Mars energy, that Aries energy, always on the go, not necessarily thinking about how other people feel about anything either. This is someone that is very strong-willed, someone that gets what they want, no matter what, sometimes to a fault. That's why we're going over kind of the negative aspects. But for the most part, someone that's performed all the work to get here, especially through all the suits. You know, they performed all the work to hopefully master the physical self, the mental self, the emotional self, and now the creative self. Hopefully both of these energies, these people, these portions of the self are at a mastery position where they are balanced and they're not taking advantage and manipulating and doing things only for themselves. All right. So I just wanted to go over these cards to end up our King and Queen episodes for all the suits. And we'll start off with the Page and Knight of Pentacles next. Thank you so much for sticking around. If you dig the video, please give it a like. If you like what we're doing here, please show your support and subscribe to the channel. And you can also get updates on future releases. And as always, thank you so much for your time. And I hope you enjoy the rest of your day. All right? Take care.